my name is Hannah. I am from Gold Group C.
Want to see my dog who doesn't conform to gender roles? Okay, he's 80 pounds. He's got a bow on! He hates me right now. Oh no, he likes it.
Is the toy gendered? Yes, it clearly markets to little girls with all the pink and flowers and general girly aspects that society deems are acceptable for little girls.
Okay. Yeah, our toy is clearly gendered. I know ours is the most obviously gendered one in the room, in the class. It's bright pink. First of all, the packaging is bright pink. All of the other toys in the line are like girly and have cutesy names and all that. And it's obvious throughout the entire brand because of that. The girls' side of Shopkins is clearly marketed to girls, and then the boys' side of Shopkins is a bunch of trash. Literally, it's literal garbage. And why do they assume that boys want to play with garbage? I don't know if I'm supposed to be looking at the camera or myself.
It's week 3. We are here talking about feminism with the Shopkins toy. I mean, it doesn't get any more obviously gendered than this. It is literally pink. They have separate girl and boys toys for this line of toys, the Grocery Gang and then the Shopkins toys. And it's just, the Shopkins have really just exploded. They are only really household things. You know, there's makeup, there's food, there's these toys. It's just literally, it's the French toys just again, which isn't bad. You know, it is gearing kids for adulthood, but it is that problem of, this cultural scripting of men need to have these building toys, the hammers, the nails, the little toolboxes, and the girls need to have these little bitty cars that they can zoom around and they can go buy different things with, and they can get food and they can get their makeup and all these things. I remember vividly growing up, my brother had this cool toolbox thing that looked just like a women's kitchen set, little kid toy, and it was very clearly for the boys. The boys always played with it, and I wasn't really, I could play with it kind of on my own. They didn't want to play with me with it. You don't have to keep any of this in here that you don't like. I'm just rambling.
See this little thing? What the hell is it? It's Shopkins. This is Shopkins. This is a Shopkins cutie car. 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 And today, I'm gonna give you my take on why this car is terrible. Like my peers have said already, the Shopkins car is, well, what can you say about it, right? Cutie car. And today, feminism. Feminism is a funny thing. Feminism is a trap. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Hello. This is Shopkins. What is it? No one cares. No one cares what it is. This is weird being on this side of the camera. I know you're all wondering, and waiting for my point of view on this car relating to feminism, because this is the first episode I've been in one. And I'm here to tell you that it's pink, it's yellow, it's white, it's heavier than you think, and it's pretty ridiculous. It's got a face, and nothing about it is realistic. Without a doubt, the color pink in society today is geared towards women, young women, and small kids. And the reason why it's doing so well, in my opinion, is that it's directly linked to a television show. And personally, I have brand new nephews that are approaching 5 years old, and the parents do whatever they can to really calm down the kids if they're crying or whatever, but a lot of the amusement comes from television and being able to put on a show on a small device or whatnot. And more times than not, they put on a show that's geared towards both of them. And I haven't personally seen them watching Shopkins, but I would have to imagine that the likelihood of kids nowadays, with their parents giving them access to the internet via hopefully some control, some limited access, that these kids are going to be able to watch this show because it's harmless. That's one thing I'll give this toy, and the show in general. Their slogan says, "Once you shop, you can't stop." Now that also may be harmless, but when a show that's geared towards women, and the slogan for that is, "Once you shop, you can't stop," you're in a rabbit hole of real feminine gears. That makes no sense. This car doesn't teach girls or boys anything, in my opinion. This toy is extremely geared towards making money, which is fine for the company. But if it really comes down to moral code. If a company sets out to make a product that is going to sell and is going to make them money, that is a very novel idea in this day and age. And I think my point of view is that there's nothing wrong with making something that is profitable, but there has to be some moral code to where this toy is going to be teaching our youth anything. And you're dumping money into a television show that will ultimately make you rich by selling these little aluminum die-cast body pieces of metal and plastic. That is it's got some weight to it. If a kid was angry and chucked this thing if he or she chucked this at some person, it would hurt. And kids have some crazy strength, by the way. But it's not a toy that's going to teach a kid very much, other than once you shop, you can't stop. Consumerism. That's what it's based on. That's what they had in mind. And to this company's playing devil's advocate here, they're running with it. They're making money off this toy that is extremely popular. It's not something that I can be totally upset with, because like any business, they're gonna want to make money, and they're doing that swimmingly, because what gets these children hooked is that the television show. And nowadays, with technology being so prevalent in the household, having a screen in front of a child is just as easy to like, keep them occupied than it once was, say even 10 years ago. Really before I like to base all my technology pre-iPhone. Having a screen in front of a child nowadays is very common. It keeps them occupied, it keeps them busy, and nowadays anything that keep a child busy and going for any amount of time is going to be less stressful for the parents. And that's all they're thinking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It encourages the girls to go like higher set, and it trains them to get in this domestic lifestyle of like shopping and conforming to like the typical cooking, cleaning, and the like. It encourages all of the ideals that girls are supposed to be sunshine and rainbows, and boys are supposed to literally like rotting trash. And this toy is clearly marketed to get them to be conceited in their looks and only care about the outer beauty rather than the functionality of the toys, or even themselves. So, overall, is the toy gendered? Yes. Is there general training? Hell yes. What does it reveal? It reveals that cultural scripting is everywhere and everybody conforms to it, so therefore everybody sucks.
Since forever ago, I guess, girls have been taught, it's been perpetuated that we don't need or are even able to experience pleasure during sex, in a really weird kind of parallel here. This toy really doesn't provide that much fun. It's just something to look at. So I'm not trying to sexualize the toy, but it's the same concept. Girls don't need to have fun. I mean, that's bottom line. But girls just want to have fun. That's not true. We want equality. I think that's all I have for now.
Our toy is clearly gendered. It is a Shopkins pink toy for girls. Boys can definitely play with it. It is not only for girls, but it is really, in our society today, boys are going to be made fun of it for playing with it. Somebody in our group linked a great article about boys liking Shopkins toys. The toy article talks about how all of the toys are, little household things that are made for them to learn how to be adults. Which again isn't bad, it's just forcing these roles onto kids that are, you need to be cleaning and cooking and raising, and then, men need to be building and protecting and all these things, which is totally made up construct. Something we are writing into our society. Gender is a cultural construct. If you think about it, there aren't even two sexes. We have X and Y chromosomes, but they can be XXY or XX, I believe, as well. There's more than just the two genders. Thinking that there's only two genders, we only think that there are two genders because it has been so written into our society that there are two genders. Like Raikou here, he's a cat. He literally doesn't know what gender he is. If he was gonna have little babies, maybe then he would, but he's neutered, so he's not going to. She doesn't care what I call them. She doesn't care. It's totally something, gender is something we've made up. But I don't think that that means that it's bad. I just think that it means that it's another tool that we use to describe ourselves. You know, same with sexuality, something that we've made up. You know, nobody's really any kind of sexuality at all, but we made it up to make ourselves feel better and know kind of where we sit in all of this.